People just don't get it, man. They just don't get how difficult it is to be the spare. I mean, there I am as the spare. I don't have a proper role to fulfill unless something really tragic happens. And then, in the meantime, oh, here's just a few million, just go fuck yourself, you know. What am I supposed to do in the meantime? Got no idea how difficult it is thinking of things to spend the money on. But it's a really good book. Go out and buy it now, because only if you're really clued up will you understand the tragedies and the difficulties of being a spur. Are you exhausted?
Yeah, I am.
Tell me all about it.
Oh, I'm still waiting for my... She's not in the communal bathroom, is she?
No, she's in mine.
Right, good.
Yeah.
Because I want that floor to dry out. That's what I'm waiting for.
Why are you exhausted?
Oh, well, I've been reading and it always makes my eyes tired. But I mean, reading...
Well, it's hypnotising, isn't it? Your eyes going left and right all the time.
I might read some of it just to get to sleep at night, you know, help with my insomnia. That could be the cure, couldn't it?
You might burst out laughing, or I don't know.
Why are you sitting that side of the camera?
I'm watching it.
Oh, okay. Will it not record if you're not watching it?
Yeah. But then I won't know if I'm in the frame or not, will I? Because I can't see the viewfinder.
Oh, you should have
We might be off the edge, you know.
Yeah, each bit in that book where he said, "Oh, I came home and found Meghan sobbing on the floor," and there's loads. It's basically there'd been a build-up to how she couldn't get her own way, and then he'd come home and find her sobbing, so he'd have to go and get her own way. And he even says in the book, all this nonsense. He kind of says, "I never said what Meghan wants, Meghan gets." But he didn't have to. He's just written a 400-page book which depicts it. That's exactly.
If you came home and I was in a heap sobbing on the floor,
I'd call an ambulance. Think, what's the matter with him? Have you hurt yourself? Has someone kicked you in the nuts?
Someone's stolen my garden. I need a new garden, darling.
Don't think I've ever seen you cry. Not once. You've made me cry plenty of times. Do the washing up. Help me with the DIY.
It appears that the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for President Putin. Okay. So this is another body of people that just get paid to do nothing. Oh, no doubt. President Putin's got lots of arrest warrants for people like Zelensky, for example, and everyone's got arrest warrants for everyone else, and it's just futile, isn't it? You know, you're just sitting listening to this garbage on the news, and you think to yourself, why did I even turn the news on? You know, just in the brief hope that there might be some news out there worth actually listening to. Well, then they go to the sports news. Oh, look who's scoring a goal, or might score a goal, possibly next week when they play a game or something. That's not news. I want news, proper news, but there isn't any, is there? They don't have news. It's just all nonsense. I mean, I dare say Joe Biden will be issuing arrest warrants for Russian pilots who crash into Reaper drones. Oh, honestly, I don't know where to begin or where to end. You know, what is the world coming to? You're being all emotional.
You will have to read at least 3 pages of that book. Oh, you will.
I'm not reading a page.
It's work. You know what? If you rolled Murky, Taz and Wally, all of their videos, all together into one book, the way they depict Meghan is nowhere near as bad as what Harry's done to her in that book. He has obliterated her. He has, and he conveniently leaves an awful lot of stuff out. Major world events involving him and Meghan.
Harry should complain to his own publisher and get himself cancelled for picking on himself. I would have.
The thing is, you see, that's the thing. When people talk freely, they reveal more about themselves than they intend to. Yeah. And he's revealed a lot more than he obviously intended to. lot more.
Have you noticed that?
He basically revealed that no matter how much somebody tried to say to him, you do realise it's your wife leaking to the newspapers. You do realise it's your wife creating shit with the office staff. You do realise that you changed as soon as she came along. You do realise that some of the newspaper articles might be justified. You do realise people are talking about it on social media because they can see something you can't. And yeah, literally, and he's like that, Meghan's wonderful, Meghan's wonderful.
Take all the social media and the newspapers to court and get
The
cancelled.
reason I wanted to, I kept feeling I had to get to the end is because I was just waiting for it to see if he mentioned Whaaah. He mentions social media and he makes crap up. He makes it, I don't know if these things were ever said on social media, but I don't think they were. They sound like things that they're his words, they're Meghan's words. They're not the kind of thing that you would see on social media.
Meghanisms.
You know, things you'd see on social media are maybe Harry's a dick, Meghan's a bitch. They wouldn't say the kind of things that he was claiming were on there. I mean, they're just too flowery. It's bullshit. And anyway, who cares? Who cares? I've had all sorts said about me on social media. So fucking what?
Yeah.
So have you, but I never told you about them.
I don't care. I genuinely.
I'm too frightened. I'll come home and you'll be sobbing all over the floor.
Don't care. I might care. I might
Fucking
burst
hell.
into tears and sob all over the floor. And go, Fiona, people have said mean things about me.
I don't
They've said
think so.
I'm fast.
I've laughed at some of them.
I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. You can be as rude as you want. I don't give a shit. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget I've got a live coming up on Sunday with my parachuting buddies I've not spoken to for over 30 years. And finally, Cyril, and finally, Esther, do you remember them?
I think I feel like I've gone cross-eyed. Oh. I might have a vino tonight.
I might join you.
Are you sure?
Why not?
Well,
It's
maybe
Friday.
not.
I light a
Maybe
candle.
we should do yoga and
And eat
meditate
yogurt.
instead.
Bake some bread.
I tell you, if I was Meghan, I'd sue him and I'd sue Penguin Random House.
Meanwhile, my wife is reading Slack Harry's book and has come to the conclusion that he's an idiot and he's far too emotional like a girl. And then I get criticised for not being in touch with my feminine side. I don't have a feminine side. And I'm sure President Putin is shaking in his boots. You know, the mere thought of he can't go to Holland without being arrested, you know. You can see them all, can't you? Writing out their arrest warrants for President Putin. Stamp. Bum, 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 bum. And then give this to Interpol, send it to Moscow. Get Interpol police in Moscow to bring in Putin. In the meantime, these politicians who are supposed to be getting paid to make our lives better just keep messing it up more and more and more. At the moment here in Spain, if you live in Spain and you're a resident in Spain and you're British and you've got a British driving licence and you've had it for 40 years like me, apparently it's invalid now. And you've got to go and take your driving test all over again in Spanish because they don't recognise something to do with Brexit, I think. But they're all going to sort it out and they're going to fix it soon, maybe. In the meantime, people are getting fined. Figures of 250, 500 euros have been quoted. If you're caught driving your car, going to work or anything like that, you evil criminal. So I'm just in despair. I mean, if I've got to go and do that, I'd rather walk